Mr. Washington, good afternoon. You're muted.
Sorry about that, Judge. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Very good. You are covering for Miss Hall today?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Do you know where Miss Landry is?
I'm not aware of that, Judge. No, sir.
Okay. Think she's supposed to be joining us.
I think you're right about that, Judge. That's what Chelsea informed me before the meeting.
Would she be under a different name, potentially?
Judge, I wish I could answer that question. I could try to reach out to Chelsea, but I believe she's indisposed right now, Judge. I don't think she'd be available.
Okay. All right, Mr. Washington, I'll come right back to you in a minute.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's move on to the next case. Mr. Watson, good afternoon.
Good day, Your Honor.
All right, I think your client is connected. Let's get started. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228158, State of Texas versus Devonta Hughes. Mr. Watson, would you give me an update on the case?
Yes, Your Honor. Devonta Hughes was placed on deferred adjudication and has successfully completed over half of the term of the period and has not received any violations, and we're asking for your approval, Your Honor, to be granted.
State, is there any objection?
Your Honor, the state would object to this, but given the fact that the defendant has successfully completed all the terms, I checked with Ms. Sparks earlier. She said there were no violations. So in this particular matter, we would defer to your best judgment.
And Ms. Sparks, anything you'd like to add?
No, the supervisors reviewed his case and we're unopposed.
Okay. Mr. Watson, your motion is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you all.
Sarah, push that order through to my queue. It'll be signed shortly. You're free to go. You and your client both. Thank you.
I don't see anybody for number 3.
What about number 4?
Defendant, but I'm not sure if he has counsel since it's a MAG.
Let's move on to number 5.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. Moreno.
Good afternoon.
Let's get started. We're on the record in 18 CCR 203920, State of Texas versus DeMarcus Jackson. Can you give the court an update on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I received an offer from the state Friday afternoon, so I just need to be able to go over it with my client.
All right, your next court date is the MAG hearing schedule for January 12th.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, well, continue your negotiations, go over the offer with your client, and if you come to an agreement before that date and you'd like to set it for a plea, just contact my coordinator.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you.
Move to Bradford.
I don't see either of them in the waiting room. Oh,
Taylor. Mr. Taylor,
Yes, Judge.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Mr. Taylor, you're gonna find some other location with a better signal. I can barely make out what you're saying. You there?
Is that better? Is that better? Is that better?
Yes. Is your client going to be joining us?
Yes, he should be here, Judge. I told him to log in at 2:25. Mr. Willie Bradford.
He is, he just logged on. We're on the record in 19 CCR 210162, State of Texas versus Willie Bradford. Mr. Taylor, give me an update on the case.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mr. Bradford and we talked earlier today. He's ready to take a plea in this matter in person, Judge. It's a DWLI. Mr. Bradford is unable to afford the fees associated with getting his driver's license reinstated. So we decided that we were just going to take the state's offer.
Sarah.
I have December 7th at 1:30.
Does that work for you, Mr. Taylor?
Yes, it does, Judge.
Yeah, December 7th, 1:30 p.m. I'll see you and your client in my courtroom.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right, Miss Landry has shown up. We're going to go back to her case.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Miss Landry.
Good afternoon.
All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 231181, State of Texas versus Madreen Landry. Miss Sparks.
Yes, sir.
Give me an update since our last meeting on Friday and her meeting with her probation officer, well, her pretrial monitor.
Well, her probation officer, Clayton Garza, Officer Garza said she did report. She took a drug test. She was negative. Her attorney sent over her prescriptions. And the medication that she's taking, we wouldn't be able to test for. It wouldn't show up on her drug screen anyway. But she did admit to him that she had drank alcohol the week prior.
Okay. Miss Landry, are we supposed to be drinking alcohol?
No, but they made us take a shot.
Who made you?
It's at a party that I was at.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter where you're at. You cannot drink alcohol.
Okay.
And nobody's forcing you to take that.
No.
State.
Judge, does I was just trying to check to see if Miss Landry has conditions of bond. I believe that she has standard conditions, including the no alcohol, and so I would just appreciate the court admonishing her about the importance of abiding by those conditions.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, okay, Miss Landry, here's the thing. You knew about your conditions of probation or conditions of release, excuse me. I'm going to let this one slide. But if it
Okay.
happens again, do you understand what can happen?
Mhm.
Tell me.
That I could go to jail.
That's right. Okay, I can revoke your bond, have you put into the county jail, and I'll set a new bond. I want to make sure you understand that.
I understand. I won't drink no more.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Mr. Washington, anything you'd like to add?
No, Your Honor. Chelsea only requested that or stated to me that if the court's open to a reset date of December 1st or the 15th, it would be fine with her, Your Honor.
Sarah, what are my dates?
December 1st or the 15th.
They set probation on the 15th.
They set your probation meeting with your pretrial monitor on the 15th?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Miss Landry, we're not going to use drugs. We're not going to use alcohol. We're not going to use any illicit substance whatsoever. You understand?
Okay.
All right. If it happens again, I'm going to revoke your bond.
Okay. And what does negative mean?
Means that when they tested you, that there was no drugs shown in your system whatsoever.
Okay.
All right. Let's reset it to 12-1 and we'll go from there. Miss McMoody, anything else?
Judge, I was just going to ask Ms. Sparks whether they received the information regarding Ms. Landry's prescriptions.
Yes, Officer Garza said, her, attorney emailed it to him.
Okay, and so, is she currently under care?
Well, I don't know. He didn't report that. She was supposed to let us know today when her next mental health appointment was.
Okay.
She's still not answering. But I'm been she answered once and then she hung up. You want me to give you her number?
I can, well, they're not going to tell us too much of anything if we don't have a release of information.
Judge, may I ask a couple of other questions, sir?
Oh, go for it.
Is Ms. Landry, do we know whether she's seeing a private psychiatrist, correct? Right?
Yes.
And so was she not eligible for services through Texana?
I don't believe she was.
I'm not in Texana.
I know. So did you ever try to go to Texana?
No, because I don't have a ride.
Okay. Judge, I'm wondering whether it might be appropriate for us to try to refer her to Takumi. That might address a lot of the additional services that she might need, like the assistance of getting to here and there, and getting, assistance contacting the various vendors. So I will loop Ms. Martin in, and I'll include Texana to see if Ms. Landry qualifies for Texana services and whether she can get into Takumi. And if she can't, we can address it by the next setting and figure out when her next appointment would also be, if she doesn't.
That sounds good. Okay. Mr. Washington, anything else you'd like to add?
No, Your Honor. I'll be sure to provide Chelsea with whatever updates I can, but nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, very good then. All right, Miss Landry, we'll see you in person in my courtroom on December 1st at 2 p.m.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right, bye.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Judge. Same to you.
All right, let's move on. Sarah, pull the next one in.
Judge, may I also be excused, sir?
Yes, you may, unless you
Thank
want to
you.
sit around and watch.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Mr. Salas is connecting. 1 second. All right, he's connected. We're on the record in 20 CCR 215497, state of Texas versus David Salas. Mr. Davidson, give me an update.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Mark's case. He's out of town this week. He said that he relayed the state's offer to Mr. Salas, and he sent a counteroffer, and he believes that this should be handled before the February court date.
All right, we'll continue with your negotiations, and if you need a plea, you know what to do. Contact my coordinator.
Sounds good. I will let Mark know.
Very good. Thank you. You and your client are free to go.
I have another client.
We'll bring in Seville next.
Perfect.
Your client's having issues connecting.
Which it didn't happen as often as it does.
We're on the record 22 CCR 229272, state of Texas versus Omar Seville. Mr. Davidson, give me an update.
Yes, Your Honor, when we got the docket control order for this case, we never had a discovery compliance hearing, but we've gotten all the discovery now, and we're waiting on an offer from the state to see what they're wanting to do with the case.
Okay. State, can we get him an offer here soon?
Yes, Judge, I'll get him an offer before we all leave for Thanksgiving.
Perfect. All right, next court date. Well, it's pretrial on 2/29.
Sounds good.
All right, you and your client free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't see Asha ready. Move on to the next case and we'll loop back around.
Hello.
1 minute, Mr. Jones. Brian, you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started then. We're on the record in 22 CCR 225661 and 21 CCR 220703, state of Texas versus Aaron Bryant. Excuse me, Leslie.
Oh, Lord. Well, we go right before Thanksgiving.
That was my
Lord.
mistake. My apologies. I was staring at your name when I'm reading it out. Oh, I apologize, Mr. Bryant. All right, you can proceed with your update on the case.
Yes, Your Honor. In all seriousness, we have received an offer from the state. I did convey a counteroffer to the state. I'm sure they need time to consider what I responded to them with. Obviously, it's a couple of older cases, Your Honor. So if we could get a little bit of latitude to try to get this done, it would be greatly appreciated.
Well, y'all have got some time. I mean, pretrial is on 2/29, so you've got a couple months to get things wrapped up and figured out. I mean, obviously, if you come to some sort of resolution, you need a plea date, just contact my coordinator. She'll give you one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the update, Mr. Bryant. You and your client are free to go. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, Your Honor. Likewise, y'all be blessed.
You do. Yes, you too.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move to Stevenson. Is Mr. Diaz not here?
I don't see his attorney.
Judge, quick note on that. I reached out to Mr. Diaz about resolution of this case, and he said that he no longer takes appointments for misdemeanor cases, and that I guess what he was trying to say is he's no longer on this case. I didn't see any motion to withdraw or substitute. I don't know if he plans to get new counsel, but that was my last communication with Mr. Diaz.
Where in the file does it show he was appointed, Sarah?
I don't see
Whenever I
a
looked
request for counsel.
Whenever I looked in the case summary, there was a request for counsel. Let's see. Swear I saw one the other day.
Reach out to Raquel, find out what's going on, see if he was properly appointed on this case, Sarah.
Okay.
We'll come back. Email Raquel while we're waiting. Mr. Oliver, is your client with you?
No, he's been trying to get into the Zoom since right at 2:30. He sent me, but he and I talked this morning. He texted me that he was trying to get in at 2:30. But he had the information. I guess he's in the waiting room.
No, he's not in the waiting room. He's nowhere to be seen. Tell you what, if you want, you can reach out to your client and see if he's still trying to get in. I'll come right back to you in a few minutes.
Great.
I don't see anybody for Arriaga.
I do not either.
Motion.
Your Honor, state moves for bond forfeiture.
Bailiff, you would call Freddie Arriaga.
No answer at 2:55, Judge.
Thank you. I see. New bail is set in the amount of $3,000.
Yes, Judge.
Any additional conditions?
Standard conditions, Judge.
Very good. All right, next case. I don't see anybody here for the next case at all.
I see the defendant.
Chambers?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we skipped. I don't see anybody for that one.
All right. Motion.
Judge, I actually received a motion to forfeit the weapon signed by defense counsel. That was going to be in exchange for a dismissal. So at this time, the state would not request a bond forfeiture. I just need to run the motion down to you during docket at some point.
That's fine. Tell you what, right after docket, why don't you run it down? I'll sign off on it.
Sounds good, Judge. I'll be there.
Very good. Let's go back to Oliver and Martinez. He just showed up.
Yeah, he was there the whole time, Judge.
He just appeared.
That's not accurate. Okay.
No, that's pretty accurate, Counselor. He was not.
If you guys were seeing, Judge, I mean, he described what he saw at 2:29 when he called me, and it's exactly what I was looking at. There might have been
Okay.
a
Well,
technical-
I will tell you, Counselor, right now that in my waiting room, and according to my coordinator as well, that he was not present. But I'm not holding it against him, and
Thank
we're
you,
not
Judge.
going to argue over it. We're on the record in 21 CCR 221060, state of Texas versus Carlos Martinez. Why don't you give me an update, Counselor?
Spoke to, or not spoke to, Gavin O'Brien is the prosecutor in the case. I sent him an email some time back, maybe a month or so ago when I first got hired. He left me a voicemail this morning saying he apologized he'd missed my voicemail, but he sent an offer this morning. I called Mr. Martinez around noonish today. Before we get on the Zoom, I conveyed the offer to him. I think it's, in light of where Mr. Martinez was, certainly not an offer I think we're going to agree on that one. So I'd like to have another date to talk to the prosecutor and determine, and my client decide whether or not we're going to set it for a hearing.
Well, Counselor, he's already set for a hearing on January 12th at 10 a.m. You can find a copy of the docket control order online if you don't have one already. That outlines everything.
Okay, I'll remind my secretary that you guys use the DCO.
Okay. All right. Well, if you come to a resolution before that date, you can contact my coordinator and we can schedule it for a plea. If not, I'll see you on January 12th at 10 a.m.
Quick question, Judge.
Yes.
So the comment you just made, is that a requirement or is that an option? In other words, if we work it out and show up on the 1/12 date, can we do it? Or does this court say you need to get a plea date other than the hearing date? Does that make sense? I'm asking it. I know it's
No. You can plea it on the 12th.
But would you prefer a plea date?
If you can work it out before then and you've worked it out, I would prefer that you would find a plea date before then.
We'll do that.
But if it's one of those things where it's a couple days before before the date on January 12th, and you work it out, obviously you complete on January 12th.
Okay. I just wanted, some courts have practice and will not allow that. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Have a good holiday, Counselor. You and your client are free to go.
Thanks, Judge. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right, let's go back to the
William
beginning.
Roulette
Okay.
is subbing for David
I'm
Preston.
sorry.
For number 18,
Okay,
William Roulette is subbing for David Preston.
thank you.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm trying to figure out how to do this video real quick. I think I might have it figured out. There we are.
You've got it. There we go.
Okay,
All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 228001, State of Texas versus Brian White. Mr. Roulette, you may give the court an update.
okay, Your Honor, my colleague, Mr. Preston, has been in contact with Mr. O'Brien, as I have too. We have discovery, but we also were informed just within the last few hours that from Mr. O'Brien that Mr. White may be having a new theft charge filed against him in Fort Bend County, if I'm hearing that correctly. Mr. O'Brien?
Yes, so from my understanding, when I was looking into your client's history and such, it appears that he does have a pending theft charge in intake currently. Whether I can say that gets rejected or it gets filed, I can't say. It's out of my hands right now, but that is the current state of your client's status.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd also like to mention that Mr. O'Brien has made us a plea offer, and we've communicated with him through email. But if that new charge is accepted by his office, certainly whatever we do, is whether or not we plead it or resolve it somehow or another without a trial, we'd like to be able to look at that new case and see what that's all about and how we want to approach it.
Pre-trial is on February 29th. Hopefully y'all can get it figured out before then.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And hope everybody has a nice Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you.
Let's see who is left. We got Mr. Nassif in there. Nassif, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
I'm good. All right, we're on the record in 18 CCR 201408, State of Texas versus Luis Rangel. Why don't you give the court an update?
Yes, Judge. I think we're very close to resolving this case. We've been negotiating on my client doing jail time to resolve the MAJ, and I think we're just about there.
Okay. When is your next setting? January 12th for a MAG hearing.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you're able to come to a resolution before then, and you like to set it for a plea, just contact Sarah. And it sounds like y'all are very close. I mean, if you want, we could set it for a plea today for maybe 2 or 3 weeks out.
I'm pretty confident that we can get this done, Judge. So maybe a few weeks out.
How about the 7th, December 7th, or December 12th?
Would the 7th be in the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay. I'd have to check with my client.
Yeah, the 12th would be at 9 a.m. in the morning. Your client's on here. We can check with him.
Okay, and I can do the 12th at 9 a.m. as well.
Okay. Mr. Rangel, either of those dates work for you?
Yes, sir. The 9th is fine.
Oh, we didn't have the 9th. It's
Oh,
December.
I'm sorry. It's the 12th at 9, right? Yes.
12th at 9. Okay. All right. We'll put you on the docket for the 12th at 9 for a plea.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You as well.
Who is Brooks? Am I skipping that one? Oh, here we go. Stephen
Number
Brooks.
11.
That's ready. Yes. That's Ostrich client. Okay. Mr. Stevenson. Mr.
Yes.
Stevenson.
Yes, sir.
Let me, your attorney, or well, alleged attorney, I guess, Mr. Diaz, says he does not represent you on this mag. Did you apply for a court-appointed attorney?
No, sir. I talked to BS yesterday. I called him. He said, "Yeah, exactly what you just said." And no, I guess yes, I would like to appoint one.
You want to apply for another court-appointed attorney?
Yes, and I would like and his phone number and everything when y'all ever send me one.
Okay. Well, I need you to come in and fill out an application again. Okay. So why don't we do this? Sarah, let's have him come in on December 1st. Mr. Stevenson, I want you to come into court on December 1st at 9 a.m. I'm going to send you to fill out an application with the Indigent Defense Office for a court-appointed attorney. You should be able to get it. If you qualify, you will be able to get an attorney that day.
Okay, you said December 1st?
Correct. At 9 a.m.
Okay. Come up there, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. You're free to go.
All right. It's anyway, I can talk to you about the case right now.
No, I'm not going to talk to you about the case right now, sir. Let's get you an attorney.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go. Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Will your attorney, Miss Asha Reddy, be joining us?
I'm not sure. I never met my attorney.
Let's see. She was appointed back on September 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't met her yet.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may.
You may.
I actually received an email from Miss Brooks. It said she's been attempting to reach the defendant.
You mean Asha Reddy? You received an email from Asha Reddy?
Correct. I apologize. I received an email from Asha Reddy. She said she's been attempting to reach the defendant, and it says the phone number that was on file has been disconnected. So, you know, if the defendant can reach out to her directly, that may be best. That way he can provide her with updated contact information.
Sarah, would you provide, let's give me, state Asha Reddy's phone number to Mr. Brooks.
Okay. Are you ready, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, I'm ready.
It's going to be 713-223-0800.
0800.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give her a call. Your next court date is on February 15th. It's a pretrial conference that's in person.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go, Mr. Brooks.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, have a nice.
You do the same. All right, Mr. Scoville, why don't you bring me that dismissal? That concludes today's docket. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, Judge.
Happy Thanksgiving.